Namaste, everyone, and welcome to our weekly youth experience conversations. Today we have with us Soumyadeep Deb from Assam. And for everyone who's watching us who doesn't know much about Soumyadeep, so let me quickly give a short introduction. So Soumyadeep Deb is a social entrepreneur who is currently in third year student from Guwahati University. He has founded various social ventures like My Hunar and Info Club to help raw talents grow across the state to find appropriate exposure and generate sufficient income from his or her talent. He's a business coach, motivational speaker, and a social worker. Right, Soumyadeep? So this is something that I've read, but I want you to explain to everyone who's watching us who is Soumyadeep.
So firstly, hello and good evening to everyone who's listening me. Yeah, as Nishant sir said, I'm a social entrepreneur. I am currently a third year Gauntlet University student who has been working on to generate employment status of the state of Assam, and also to find more opportunities for the all the talents here who are lacking with right exposure to display their and showcase their talent.
Great. So Soumyadeep, I usually begin with one question, which is बचपन में सब आपसे पूछते होंगे बेटा बड़े होके क्या बनोगे तो जनरली आपका क्या रिस्पॉन्स होता था जब ये क्वेश्चन पूछते थे
Trust me, it this question came to
पूछते
me
तो
in
क्या
class
अभी भी
8.
पूछते होंगे है ना
Uh, yeah. Actually, this question came to me at class 8, and trust me, I was very clueless. I was very clueless as a kid, just because I tend to believe living in the present moment. Because I believe I cannot plan for the future because I don't know, because future is unexpected. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? So I tend to believe that if you are working in your present, living in your present, and you're giving your best input at your present, the future is definitely going to be great. And this question came to me in class 8 when I was sitting in the class, and suddenly there was a teacher called Sharmishta ma'am. She was asking all the students that, okay, what's your plan for the next 5 years? What you gonna be in your future, or what are you planning to become in your future? So everyone was like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be an architect. Then suddenly I was sitting at the last bench, right? So at the last bench, Shamishta ma'am called me. Yes, Soumyadeep, what you really want to be? I was stunned at that moment. Okay, I was like, okay, what to say right now? So the first word which came out of my mouth was, I want to be an entrepreneur. Okay, and the suddenly entire the classroom was like, okay, what was he saying? Because no one at that moment knew what entrepreneur actually is. And suddenly and I grabbed the attention of the entire class. Okay, and then when teachers and students started appreciating me for that, I thought that, yeah, I have to find the meaning of this word and somehow I have to explore this subject. And that gradually brought in my attraction towards that field. And after that I went to various workshops, seminars, and tried exploring this subject. Yeah.
वंडरफुल ब्रदर बट टेल मी लिटिल बिट मोर ऑफ योर स्कूल लाइफ बचपन में क्या था कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स पसंद थे एनी पर्टिकुलर स्टोरी जो यू रिमेंबर यू वांट टू शेयर विद अस
Yeah, I started off with Maharshi Vidya Mandir. It was here in Guwahati. So I was a pretty good in academics. I would not say that I wasn't good in academics. I was pretty good in academics. I used to score decent marks. Yeah, definitely I didn't came first, second, third, but I was was pretty decent in my studies. So, but it was neither that I was not interested in academics, or I found something else more appealing than academics. I found that I was always curious about solving problems. Like I have to solve whenever I see a problem, the first question used to come, why? And if a teacher was teaching a concept to in the class, I used to ask the teacher why. Sometimes it worked well, sometimes it really made the teacher annoyed. Like I was too much curious about everything. I used to ask them a lot of things like why is that so? Because teachers used to say that, यार ये एग्जाम में नहीं आएगा मत पूछ रहने दे, that's just not in your subject, you don't have to worry about that, you just keep on studying what's there in your syllabus, that will be enough for you. I was like, no, if we're studying that there must be some purpose that why we are studying this. right? So अगर हम लोग Pythagoras पढ़ रहे हैं, there must be some reason why we are reading that Pythagoras. Purposelessly हम लोग कुछ पढ़ेंगे नहीं, ना ही हम लोग कुछ information grab करेंगे. See, informations that हम लोग जो पढ़ रहे हैं, हम लोग जो book में पढ़ रहे हैं, you can just, today we are living in a 21st century, right? You can just go and Google and find it. The important thing is to grab the concepts. Agar you know the concepts very well and you are very much strong with it, you can solve the problems around you. So you have to understand how to implement those concepts or knowledge that you're getting in the school and colleges in real life. That's basically saying you need to know the real life applications of every concept that you're studying in school and colleges. So I used to always ask why. So that's still a habit. That's still a habit. And you might also know, I talk to you quite often time. I'm always asking questions. Okay, sometimes it's okay, but sometimes the other person gets really annoyed at that moment. I take it both as a blessing and a curse at this point.
Oh, fantastic, यार. It reminds me of Three Idiots, right? उसमें भी यही है, कामयाबी के पीछे मत भागो, है ना?
Yeah.
So I think that's something which is wrong in the Indian education system also, right? Focus on why and
Yeah.
all that. But tell me more about your college और वो transition कैसा था? 12th के बाद जो college में आए, I think that's a very different kind of a phase. Or walk us through that और कैसा रहा आपके लिए पूरा?
Yeah. Actually, when I came to college, I was pretty much already into this stuff like entrepreneurship. I started my entrepreneurship journey when I was in class 9, I guess. When I was in class 9, I started my hunar at that moment. That was when I came up with an idea because I used to go for guitar classes. And at that moment, a lot of my friends and teachers were there. So one of our teacher who used to work in a corporate. Okay, he used to work in corporate. Now he used to teach guitar as part time. Now I used to ask him that, sir, you play guitar so well. Why don't you just choose that as your career option? He said, this is something which is very easy and very very much easy to say to the world that अरे आपने ये guitar क्यों नहीं as आप you could have become a great guitarist, you could have just rocked in Bollywood. But the thing is, when the real life and our perception are two different thing which don't really match. Our perception and reality is totally different. He said that I could have taken this, but the competition right now is so massive and opportunities which are available to the youth and the people around us are so less that the competition is very cutthroat. Now if I have to take that as a profession for at least 5 to 8 years, I have to struggle. Now I have to support my family. I have to earn for my family. I cannot just simply struggle 8 years and 10 years without money. So I had to take a job. Now just to live in, just because I loved this playing guitar so well, that I'm still playing guitar and trying to pass on uh, my experience, my passion for this subject to you guys. That brought me to a question that if sir is facing the same problem, he went on to ask some of the few more people around them that are you guys facing the same problem? They were also saying that they were almost giving the similar feedback to me. Then I came up with an idea that there are a lot of organizers there in Guwahati who are actually who their budget is very less, but they cannot afford a good performer. So they cannot afford a good performer, so they cannot take good artists in their program. So that's where I tried connecting the organizers and the talents at a very cheap rate. Now that I when I came up with that idea in the college, definitely that became a problem. Now in college life it became a problem because in college you need to have 75% attendance, right? So now you have to maintain your study. Now I have meetings all around. In the morning shift I have to go to meetings. I go to seminars. Now when the investors come in, I have to pitch the ideas to the investors, go out there because I have to go to the pitch session on the convenience of the investors, right? I cannot just say them that I will be available at that moment, can you just shift it the meeting to that point? No, I have to balance both the situation. Now I have to give a formal letters application to the principal and make him understand about the entire scenario. But I must say my college has been very much supportive to me. They have constantly supported me at every step. Okay, I won't deny this with the fact that my college was pretty cruel to me. They didn't allow me to go. They even at many time I couldn't cover up the sufficient attendance in many semesters, sufficient attendance to sit for an exam, but they let me go because they said that you are doing some good work. We can see it. You are actually working on the ground, so I will let you, since what you're doing is for good purpose, we'll let you sit for the exams. So that was pretty. The professors around was so good. So yeah, my professors, my college administration was very much supportive towards every steps that I've took for my career till yet.
I think Soumyadeep, you've been very lucky in that regard, right? Because I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
when I was in
I'm
college, I, I told my HOD I was organizing an event for my organization, the Campus Connect, and I remember what she told me. She said, "Nishant, तुम यहाँ business करने आए हो या engineering करने आए हो?" So I think
yeah,
everyone
yes, yes,
has the mindset. So I think, and I know your college. I've spoken to your principal. I think also we wanted to do something in Assam. So you were. So I think that is something that is very good, that they let you explore, which is how I think college life should be, right? So
yeah,
Soumyadeep,
yeah,
you
yeah,
tell me
exactly, exactly.
about right. Tell me about entrepreneurship. ये जर्नी कहाँ से शुरू हुई? और because ये एक कीड़ा होता है मेरे ख्याल से, एक बार ये
Yeah,
कीड़ा
yeah,
आ जाए
yeah.
तो जाता नहीं है. So tell us in
Go, go, go.
detail कहाँ से जर्नी शुरू हुई और फाइनली आपका फर्स्ट स्टार्टअप की क्या स्टोरी है, सब जानना चाहते हैं.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, as I said you, I was very much lucky with teachers and mentors right back from my school days. Okay, मैं जब महर्षि में था, I also found a good mentor there as Sharmishta ma'am. When I changed my school from Maharishi to KV, I was also a KV in 11th and 12th. So I found a good mentor there called Vikram sir, who used to mentor me at every steps that I used to take at that moment. Every thing which was out of the box there, which people usually don't tend to support, and especially its teachers and the principals. But I was very lucky in those cases. All of them supported me, and I would say they have contributed also, just not supported. They have also contributed from the end the more possible. Uh, but if I could say the entrepreneurship ka kiya, I was very much exposed to lot of inspirational stories at right back from my childhood. And my father and my brother used to read a lot of books, good books. So I was exposed to some really good stories. My father used to say that यार सक्सेस स्टोरी पढ़ोगे ना तो सिर्फ अच्छी बातें समझ में मतलब सिर्फ सक्सेस स्टोरी अच्छी अच्छी यू विल जस्ट ओनली गेट टू नो द ब्राइटर साइड but when you read failure stories now you'll actually tend to know some good lessons. You will take good lessons only from failure stories, so tend to read or listen to failure stories. जितने आप failure stories के पता चलोगे you will also understand कि what were the reasons, what the hustle, the struggle, everything you'll tend to learn it from the failure stories. So it was I guess in class 11 when I was exposed to the story of Elon Musk. I'm a big fan of this guy. Yeah. It was I guess in 2002. Yeah, when he just sold PayPal, and he had 180 million dollars with him. 180 million dollars. जो you just think about for this moment that अगर आज मैं होता या कोई और होता या कोई anyone in that spot, they could have lived a lavish life. $180 million with them, they could have lived a lavish life. Who could think about solving problems for human race, going to Mars and settling solar city for the globe? Who thinks about that? It's like we have 180 million dollars, we'll just go on party and live a lavish life for the rest of my life. But no, he he invested $100 million in uh, SpaceX, $70 million in Tesla, and $10 million in Solar City. He, even after being a millionaire, he used to stay at a rent. That's the spirit, because you know what made him do that? Because he wanted to solve a problem. Because I believe on a lot of people fail in entrepreneurship just because they go there just because of money. They think अरे यार entrepreneurship का life मतलब you go there, make a lot of money, you'll have a Lamborghini by 5 years, and you'll live a life like a king. That's not entrepreneurship life. Is like you'll be in corporate, you work 9 to 5, but in entrepreneurship you will work 24/7. And I'm pretty much sure you will relate to this. Like when you started when you
Right.
started your campus connect, you might the initial 5 years would be very very tough, very tough. You are the accountant, you are the lawyer, you are the team leader, you are the peon there, you have to do everything. So that all night outs, right, night after night, figuring out the problem, what is wrong with my revenue model, so how can I make it more profitable. That's what gives me more interest, because I always have that keen interest towards solving a challenge. I believe that all if I have the capacity and the God has blessed me with a potential to at least contribute 1% to the society, where I could solve any problem around me, I will. Even, no matter how much I have to sacrifice for it, because have accepted the fact that nothing in this world comes without sacrifice. We always tend to see the good side of every story, but we don't see the bad side. आज विराट कोहली है because he sacrificed 10 years of his life practicing. He lives in a very strict diet. He goes for an exercise every morning. But we see only the glamour part of Virat Kohli, right? We see, अरे यार ये तो celebrity है, he's earning in crores, yeah, he's so popular in social media. But we don't see that struggling story. And trust me, that struggle has its own pleasure. उस उस struggle का एक अलग ही experience है, and I believe everyone should experience that. And that what also Steve Jobs said when he was out from Apple. He was when he was thrown out from Apple. He again came back to starting a new venture, next computers. He said that was the biggest turnout for his life, because he said I was back again to my creative stage, where I could just create new things. I could just come up at your start things from scratch, build those team. That's a different pleasure. That's a different addiction. So that's what always have excited me for starting something of my own.
वेरी वेल सेड सौम्यदीप. आई थिंक आपके फादर ने भी बहुत सही बात बोली है, क्योंकि जो भी एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पीपल कम, दे लुक एट द ग्लैमर, राइट, फंडिंग
Yeah, yeah,
न्यूज़,
exactly.
सक्सेस स्टोरीज. But I think what your father said is really important, which is you learn most from the failure stories, right? And failure is a stepping stone towards success. And all the stories आपने बताई, that's exactly what entrepreneurship is. So that leads me to another question. Soumya, आपने अपनी story नहीं बताई यार. You're a good storyteller,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think you learned a lot from exactly what entrepreneurship is. That's the
yeah,
entrepreneurial mindset. But how did you start with your entrepreneurship journey? We want to know that.
yeah. So as I said, कि मैं गिटार क्लासेस जाता था. So okay, my so हम लोग का जो हम लोग महर्षि में जब पढ़ते थे, we always used to have CCA classes, CCA and extracurricular activities. We had in my CCA I had guitar. So when you used to go for guitar classes, there was a teacher there. As I said, he used to work in corporate, but he used to do part time there as a guitar teacher. Because he was not earning sufficient money from his corporate job, but because somewhere he had that love for his guitar. He used to love when we used to play guitar, he used to come say, okay, tum aise bajana, try this. He used to come all by himself and used to ask, यार ये chord, ये वाला chord try कर, ये वाला गाना है नया है, ये वाला गाना नया है, इसमें नया chord से try कर. So that's that and that grabbed my attention. I used to ask him, sir, आप इतना अच्छा गिटार बजाते हो, and you so much, you have so much love for guitar, why didn't you choose as a guitarist as your profession? He said, yeah, this is all what which is sounds so easy, but the real life is completely different from the stories or imaginations we have. The real life में मैं 8 साल struggle नहीं कर पाऊंगा. I have to somehow support my family. I'm not from a rich family where I could just leave 8 years, 9 years struggling without making any money, where and my family and my father would keep on supporting me financially. Somewhere at some point I have to go out and make some money to support my family. And that was, I also believe, which was very practical. This is a very practical approach. And that really I was very compassionate at that moment, and I really started connecting with Sir's story. And I thought, why can't I solve this problem? What if I can just help in some way that he could also earn some good sufficient money for himself, and he can support his family by playing guitar also, even if he's not getting a big that big exposure. Even if वो break through नहीं मिलता तो भी वो somehow is going some shows, because there are a lot of shows going around. Okay, just what we lack is opportunity का जो knowledge होता है ना, कहीं का हर जगह कुछ ना कुछ हो रहा है. Okay, lot of events are going on, lot of opportunities are around, just we are not aware of a lot of opportunities which are around us. So what we need to do is, हम लोग ने क्या किया, I started collecting all the contact details of all the organizers. जितने भी ऑर्गेनाइजर्स थे आसपास, मैंने सबके ऑर्गेनाइज के डिटेल्स ले लिए, एंड आई हैव टू गो एंड आस्क देम कि आपका जो इवेंट है वो कितने पैसे में हो रहा है. They used to say there's 50,000 or somewhere a lakh or even 1,50,000. I said, okay, are you planning to call any artist for your event? They said, yeah, we are planning. So who are you planning? They said in Assam there's a singer which is very famous, Zubin Gar. Okay, Zubin Gar and Papon. Zubin Gar and Papon are very famous over here.
Right.
Yeah, they're extremely popular here. So, but they're very high budget. Okay, now they have if they have to call it, they have to have really good budget with them. So they said, यार हम लोग तो चाहते तो पापन है, but Zubin Gar है, but we are lacking with some budget. But we also need artists who could come and sing some very good bihu songs in our program. I said, what if I could arrange you an artist who will sing somewhere as awesome as Zubin Gar and Papon, but at a 20% of what you are spending to Zubin Gar. He said, what? तुम इतना जल्दी इतना इतना कम पैसे में कैसे मेरे लिए एक आर्टिस्ट लेके आओगे? I said, वो आप मत चिंता कीजिए, वो मेरी गारंटी है. I'll somehow figure out कहाँ पे है. I'll contact you. आप लगे उसको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देने से पहले आप एक बार उसको लाइव डेमो दे देना. You take a live demo of him. If you really like him playing, then you just take him for the event. So I called that guy. I called my sir. Even I called my sir to go out and perform there in the practice session, and the like I would say in the demo session. He got selected and he performed there, and gradually I started, after that organizer, then that I made a good contact with that organizer. Now organizers and now whenever he like organizes any event across, he always connects to me, like यार तूने उस टाइम जैसे एक सस्ते में अच्छा आर्टिस्ट ले आया था, please find me more of them. And even sir, or after sir getting this opportunity, sir shared those stories with all other his students. Then suddenly all other students started come to me, and that's how the network started to spread. And a lot of people started coming to me, and now I thought, now I need a team. I cannot do this alone. Now that's a point that yaar ab to nahi ho raha hai, akela nahi ho raha hai. I could not manage so many people around. I started looking for people. Now co-founder ढूंढना ना बहुत मुश्किल है. It's just like finding your wife. If you pick a wrong one,
Correct.
you have to suffer all your life. Okay, you have to suffer all your life. Now it's not like that कि मैं यार तू दोस्त है, चल तू आज मेरा CTO, या तू CEO, मैं MD, आज चल ये शुरू होगी कंपनी. That's not exactly how you do it. दोस्ती यारी अपनी जगह, professionalism अपनी जगह. Okay, now the thing was, I had to find somewhere a person who used to lack all the skills which I have. Like मेरे जो चीज drawbacks है, he should cover up all those drawbacks. So I will cover up all the drawbacks that he has. So that's where we'll make up a good team. I used to go for, as I said, I used to go to various events and seminars across. I found a guy called Vivan Agarwal. Okay, he came up. So we made a good bond there in E-Summit there. E-Summit, one of the E-Summit called Udgam in IIT Guwahati. We have a Udgam in IIT Guwahati. So we made a good contact there. After that, we started talking and started sharing our ideas across. He liked it. He liked my idea and said, yeah, I'd like to contribute to your idea. Let's join our hands and start enhancing this idea to a better level. Then we both started to feel the necessary to have a existence of organization. That was a moment when I was doing it verbally. Now I needed something, a physical appearance, that so that all the person around can really come and contact me. So Vivan started that. See, we were kids by then. We were in class 11, most probably 9, 10 or 11. So at that moment, Vivan said me, see, we don't have sufficient money, but we have technology with us. Yeah, that's where Facebook come into play. He said, चल एक Facebook पेज बना लेते हैं. फेसबुक पेज बनाएंगे जहाँ पे हम अपना लोगो और वो डाल देंगे और कॉन्टेक्ट डिटेल्स वहां पे डाल देंगे. ऑर्गेनाइजर्स और जो टैलेंट्स है वो हमें थ्रू फेसबुक पेज कनेक्ट कर लेंगे. I was like, okay, that's a great idea. That's a very cost effective. And we started came up with a name. I said the name should connect with the audience. Always, because name is the most important part of your company which stays in the mind. Okay. अब आज when you might not know McDonald's, but when you hear the name McDonald's, like that this is something great. That must be something great. So your name should connect with the audience. I thought this name should connect with the and connect with the audience and should have an Indian touch in it. He said my talent, and I said mera hunar. But and then we gradually combined those words to make a called my hunar. Then we started saying that अभी हम लोग सिर्फ organizers और talents को connect नहीं करेंगे. We will start also start to organize our own events. So अभी own event कराना है तो अभी पैसे तो है नहीं. अभी young students है, अभी हम लोग का pocket money से हम लोग क्या ही खर्च कर लेंगे. So now we thought चलो हम लोग online event करते हैं. Now on online event you don't need a auditorium, you don't need speakers, you don't need decorations. All you need is a Facebook page, some prize money, and a trophy. Okay, so we started organizing online events. अभी ये online event का scene क्या था, हम लोग को इसने online event got us a bigger reach. Okay, that got us a bigger reach in both. Now people from Maharashtra, people from Kolkata were also participating in the event, which was online event, which was organized in Assam. So we started organizing online events, and by today we have organized more than 75 both online and offline events in the span of 3 years. In the
Fantastic
span of
story.
3 years,
So I think that's a
uh,
brilliant story. मैं भी थोड़े चीजें पूछ लेता हूँ. Right?
yeah, yeah,
So Soumyadeep, I wanted to understand, what are the challenges that you faced, right? Because like we discussed, सिर्फ अच्छी बातें करने से it doesn't really work, right? Entrepreneurship, you have to get your hands dirty. So what are the
yeah, sure.
challenges you faced so that and what is the advice you want to give to people who want to start their own ventures? That's one part of it. Another question I wanted to ask before you answer this is, why did you choose social entrepreneurship and not just a profit making normal organization?
Yeah, sure. Firstly, saying your first part of the question was why I did started entrepreneurship, right? Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. So my advice that to the people who are coming to entrepreneurship is that, see, accept the harsh reality that there will be struggles. Stop that fairy tale stories that entrepreneurship में आएंगे in night, within few nights I'll be like investors तो आ जाएंगे, पैसे डालेंगे, and I'll be like the next day I'll be Elon Musk. That doesn't happen. Even Elon Musk has to suffer years and years and years to become what he is currently. Okay, even uh, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, look at to anyone. Look, Ritesh Agarwal, look, Sachin Bansal. They've all suffered a lot in the initial days to become what they are currently. So stop that. Firstly, stop making a pre-notion about that on the subject entrepreneurship. There might be a chances that you might soon get investors. There are also chances that years and years will go on without an investor. And that was perfectly explained by a web series called Pitchers. I guess a lot of people have seen here that the Pitchers, they might have seen it, that how on the struggles of entrepreneurship has taken place, and how those struggles have contributed to the growth of the society. Now the thing is, पैसे नहीं, initially you won't have any sufficient money with you to start the venture. Now you have to find cost effective ways to starting your ventures. Now आपको ये अपना जो ideas है, उस ideas को implement करने के लिए cost effective ways ढूंढने पड़ेंगे. Now you have to start with very less money for to take a less risk. आपको risk reduce करना पड़ेगा आपको, और चांस आपका जो प्रोजेक्ट के जो सक्सेसफुल होने के चांसेस है उसको बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. फॉर दैट यू नीड टू फाइंड पॉसिबल वेज आउटसाइड यू, and you have to explore that idea to make a good roadmap for your venture. And the last another part which will say why social entrepreneurship. I'd like to share a story with you. Like Steve Jobs. I guess a lot of you have heard about the story of Steve Jobs' Stanford commitment speech. Okay, he explained why he chose entrepreneurship there. Why exactly entrepreneurship? Why a lot of people asked him that you are running one of the biggest company in this world, Apple, but you are not among the richest man in this world. He said one thing that might hit you hard, very hard, is that being richest in the cemetery doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that going to bed, looking into the mirror and saying, yes, I have did something really good, really satisfactory. That's what matters to me. See, I didn't choose on social entrepreneurship to make money. I chose entrepreneurship to solve problems around solve the problems of people around me. So I could contribute somehow of my contribute to the society of the knowledge and all the resources the society has given me for the last couple of decades. So I believe that if the society and my country has given me something, I should also give it back to the society. That's what I believe in. That's I believe so. That's why I choose social entrepreneurship.
फैंटास्टिक. एंड पेरेंट्स को क्या मैसेज देना चाहोगे यार जो सपोर्ट नहीं करते अपने बच्चों को, और व्हाट इज योर मैसेज टू ऑल द पेरेंट्स वाचिंग यू?
Parents, I would say, see, I don't really have that experience of parents stopping you for living your dreams, because I remember when I was in class 11th and 12th, I was a science student. I was a science student by then. 10th में अच्छे, because like I was like all other students, because I believe हम लोग सब सेम है. Okay, we all think it's not that Elon Musk was different, or Bhavesh Agarwal was different, or you are different, or I am different. We are all same. Just it is just that the decisions that we take today impacts the future of us in tomorrow, that we're gonna leave tomorrow. So at that moment in class 10, I had a very good marks. So just like my all other friends, I came into influence of all my friends and took science. है that यार सारे दोस्त तो साइंस ले रहे हैं, अब तो मैं भी साइंस लूंगा. Then when I started experiencing all those subjects, I felt that sitting for the classes, I find that I'm not connecting with that subject, that I'm not getting that vibe that I have to build my career in this. So if I'm not getting that vibe that I can build my career on this, what's the point of wasting all those time? Instead, where I could do a lot of other stuff in that time, which might help me and the society in the coming days. And the same thing, I went on to saying that to my parents. Okay, my parents, especially my father, my father said me, see, if you're not really liking it, move or get out from it. Okay, you don't have to force yourself to do what that the society wants you to do. Okay, you just leave what the society will say to us. We'll talk to the society. You'll just keep on doing what you really want, and that what makes you happy. हाँ, रिश्तेदार को क्या बोलना है, सोसाइटी को क्या बोलना है, वो हम पे छोड़ दो, हम बात कर लेंगे. We will talk to the society. See, my point is, you are forcing that child to do something which he doesn't want. He might do it, but he won't be happy doing that. And that reminds me of a dialogue of, as you said, Three Idiots. In the Three Idiots, there was a dialogue from Farhan. पापा, मैं शायद कुछ इंजीनियरिंग नहीं करूंगा, फोटोग्राफी करूंगा तो क्या होगा? गाड़ी छोटी होगी, घर छोटा होगा, but at least खुश तो रहूंगा. That's the actual point of my entire story. Is that do what makes you happy, because life is really short. Nishan sir, life is really short. I don't know what I'm going to be staying alive for tomorrow, the next, or not. So if I'm at this moment leaving this moment, I have to do what really makes me happy, and that's the best motivation to do anything. Because giving motivation to you will expire someday, but when you really love to do something, that motivation will never end, because that doing that gives you motivation. You're not getting an external motivation. That's doing something which gives you happiness. The internal motivation builds in at that
राइट
moment.
यार, बहुत दिल से बोला आपने, यू नो, सौम्यदीप. आई थिंक दीज आर द राइट इमोशंस एक क्वेश्चन आपको और पूछना था कि ये जो डिबेट चलती रहती है, चूजिंग योर पैशन ओवर पेचेक, जो आप भी बात कर रहे थे, है ना, कमाना तो है ही, स्ट्रेन करना है, इसके बारे में कुछ बता सकते हैं? पैशन और पेचेक में कैसे बैलेंस करना चाहिए, स्पेशली दीज यंग स्टूडेंट्स?
See, I believe, see, going through your passion is also important. Going through passion is important, but you have to be practical some point. At point, जैसे जैसे मेरे गिटार के सर थे. As I said, as all stories are interlinked, my guitar के सर जो थे, he used to do a corporate job also to support his family. But because you have to take decision based on the situation you are, you have to be mature enough कि मैं जिस situation में हूँ, I have to analyze the situation around me and take a right call. कि इस सिचुएशन में ये डिसीजन बेटर होगा एंड इस सिचुएशन में ये डिसीजन बेटर नहीं होगा. दिस माइट हैव अ रॉन्ग इफेक्ट समटाइम्स. सी, अगर उस वक्त मेरे गिटार के सर यूज्ड टू have left the corporate job and went for moving in his passion, huh, the things could have been really different. He might have ended up staying as an unemployed for years, or he might have not supported his family. 8 years could have been really miserable. Find, मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ रिस्क लो बट टेक अ कैलकुलेटिव रिस्क. यू एनालाइज कि अगर इफ this goes right, if I go this way, this will be my consequences, and this is how I will tackle those consequences. If I'm going for, जैसे अगर मैं 12th पास कर रहा हूँ, I want to go take engineering, but I also want to become an actor. You can do both at the same time. Take engineering part time, go for auditions, go take, because now if you don't get enough opportunities in acting, or you might get failed in opportunity, you at least have your engineering there with you backup. You also should always have a backup. That's also what Warren Buffett says. You always have a backup. Make a backup with you. It's not that there are some people who say, "Arey, yaar, backup rakhna hi nahi hai." Backup rakhna hi, because your passion should be your only option, your last option. But that's not it. In real life, something you have to take calculative risk. You cannot just go blindly and hit on something. हाँ, you take analyze the situation कि क्या मैं दोनों एक साथ कर सकता हूँ. If I can do both together, why leaving a chances of having a backup? So
Right,
pay,
yeah.
and coming to the
Soumyadeep,
paycheck.
please,
Yeah,
please continue, yeah, continue.
yeah. Coming to the page, I was saying paycheck is that key. See, your first thing should be, yeah, क्या वो करके मैं happy हूँ? Am I satisfied doing that job? If you're satisfied, then look for a thing for a paycheck. Okay. Firstly, look for satisfaction. If you're not satisfied with your job, even if it's crores and crores of rupees, you won't get that inner peace or inner happiness within you. Then all of this, doing all of that becomes pointless. So now all what you have to do is to find that, am I really happy doing what I'm doing? If yes, then you can look for the paycheck.
Right, Soumyadeep, I think you speak our language, and that's what we're trying to do with the MILS program also, enabling students and encouraging them to follow their passion and eventually become a missionary passivepreneur, right? And I think all of us have learned this the hard way, like you were saying, having another option is important. I think COVID, everyone has learned that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
what is the message? Before you give a message, I wanted to know about mental health, because as an entrepreneur, mental health is also very important. Right? We have
yeah,
heard
yes,
about
yes.
founders committing suicide, like the CCDO founder. So, how do you keep your mental health in check, and what are your opinions on this? Also, there was a BBC UK news report that was published that the biggest pandemic right now is not COVID-19, but actually mental health. So, Samidi,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
are your
exactly.
opinions on that?
So to be really frankly speaking to you, there are times that you would, start to break down. Like, yaar, Pesjan, the moment when you see all your friends earning money, getting married, being happy, okay, and you're still struggling and struggling and struggling. You're finding, you're going outside your home, moving here to there, looking for investors, and investors keep on rejecting you. You will break down. That is fact. But the point is, you have to always think into a different perspective. See, आप जब सोना बनाते हो ना, सोना को तपना पड़ता है. You have to उस सोने को सोना बनने के लिए तपना पड़ता है, तब वो सोना बनता है. If you don't really heat that gold, you won't find that beautiful piece of metal with you. So you have to always see a different perspective of all that you have, all the sufferings or all the situation that you're facing right now. एक खाली glass में half water है, हाँ. So I could either see that that glass is half full or half empty. That's a two different perspective. You're looking into, both are looking into the same glass, but you have a different perspective. I have a different perspective, and both our perspective, the difference between our perspective is that you have a negative perspective into looking that, I have a positive perspective into looking that. For and talking about mental health, stay near your family, talk to your family. As much as you will talk to your family, share your pain, because a lot of people are there out there are now, they don't talk a lot. Facebook में हजारों friends, Instagram में हजारों followers. What's the point if you can't talk to, if you don't have one person sitting around you when you are sad and you cannot talk to them about your problems? What's the point of those lakhs and lakhs of followers and thousand Facebook friends? That's no point of having quantity. That's where the concept comes, the quantity over quality, quality over quantity. So quality over quantity. So always find that, always share your problems. The more there's two things. जितना आप प्रॉब्लम शेयर करोगे, प्रॉब्लम वो कमेगा. ओके, एंड खुशियां जितना आप बांटोगे, खुशियां और बढ़ेगा.
Right, I think very well said. Or I think talking it out. लोग यही नहीं करते, इतना basic. So my final question to you before we have Jerry sir to ask you some thought-provoking questions, share his insights on our conversation. My last two questions are: one, how was your experience at our youth fellowship in 2019 at IIT Delhi, and how has Rex and Karunvi Chakra and the youth fellowship impacted your life? And finally, end with what is your advice to the youth and everyone who is listening to you right now?
Nishant sir, frankly speaking, I'm at this point I feel a little unfortunate, because you might know that I couldn't attend I couldn't attend the Karamveer Chakra Award ceremony in IIT Delhi because I was having my semester exams by then. The unfortunate scene was that I was having my exams by then, but rule is same for all. When I went up there asking the chairman, the director of our university, that can I go leaving the exams, he said, see, you might be doing something good and we appreciate it, and we really appreciate that what you're doing, but the thing is that we cannot allow you right now to move into some other place leaving your exams, because after all, rule is rule, and everyone is same.
What do you think
Everyone
about
is
and how has it impacted you apart from the conclave? Of course, we'll see you in our other award ceremonies. Abhi to this is just the starting. I'm sure you'll go to bronze and more medals ahead.
Sure. Firstly, I'll say one thing. आप कुछ करते हो ना, आपको टोकने के लिए लाखों लोग मिल जाएंगे. You will find lakhs and lakhs of people go outside your home who will be all ready to criticize you, throw negative thoughts around you, but you will hardly find someone who will be appreciating your work, who will try to appreciate, yeah, तू तो अच्छा काम कर रहा है, will support you. That is what Rex Conclave is doing. That's what Rex Conclave. They are among that lakhs and lakhs of critics and people who are throwing negativity. They're the one who are coming and holding the hands of those people and appreciating their work, so that the model of those students and those change makers does not fall. And that's what happened to me. See, आप एक अच्छा word बोलते हो ना लोगों को, that changes the entire day of that person.
I agree.
And think about appreciating that person for doing one good job with an award. That changes his day, and that changed mine too. I was so happy at that moment, sharing my experience. Though I was very sad that I couldn't go and attend it, I was looking into the pictures of that event. I went on seeing the videos of other students going out and collecting them. I even congratulated all the students out there. I connected with though despite being here in Assam, I connected with the students who went there and collected their prize there. I asked their experience. So I tried connecting my experience with theirs so that I could leave their moment sitting here in Assam.
Don't worry,
So that
Soumyadeep.
was
We'll
really
ensure
beautiful.
that we'll see you at our future conclaves. Don't worry about that. But and finally, before we have Jerry sir, lastly, just in 1 or 2 minutes maximum, please share
Yeah, sure.
what is your advice right now to all the future youth fellows who are going to be joining us and everyone who's watching you right now.
uh, my little advice would be coming out from my experience. Okay, I believe, see, a lot of people would say you that learn from mistakes, do things, make mistakes, and then learn from it. But I have a little different perspective into looking into that. I say, look other people making mistakes, analyze them, and don't commit that mistake in your own life. Why commit the mistake in your own life when you can just analyze others doing that same mistakes and observe them and repeat that in your own life? What's the point? जब मैं खुद देख सकता हूँ लोगों को वो चीजें करते हुए, why I step into that mistake again?
राइट राइट
Thomas
गड्ढे में
Edison,
गिरने से बेटर है कि आप सामने कोई गिर रहा है गड्ढे में तो आप देख के लर्न कर सकते हो राइट
yes, no, you definitely help there. I'm not saying that don't help them.
राइट राइट
I'm saying I'm saying it, learn from it कि आपको क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है, you दूसरों के गलती से सीखो. That's what is meant. Failures are meant to be. Okay, you don't just teach the person who is experiencing it, but you teach other people around. That was also Thomas Edison said. When he failed 999 times inventing a bulb, the journalist asked him that you failed 999 times. How does it make you feel? He said, "Who said you I failed 999 times? I just invented 999 times things which don't work. So this is a success. I consider that to be as a success. I'm teaching all the students outside to not to try this 999 steps for making a bulb. So that what experience and that what failures will teach you, and always accept those challenges, because that challenge and those suffering, those struggles are a lifetime asset for you. Right back 60 years later, 70 years later, when you'll be sitting right there in your home seeing a beautiful sunset, you will just recall all those memories. Yeah, we went onto the road, changed a life. Because when you change a life of at least one people and you see them smile, that's really beautiful. That you, even if you change one life, even if you change one life, if and can bring a value to this person, you will feel so great and so beautiful there. Like, यार मैंने कुछ किया है and I've brought happiness into someone's life. This is priceless. This is totally priceless. That's what I would think that I could share my experience. I would not say as an advice. I would say that this is my experience that I would share, and all the students or the people who are working currently in this field can take that as a note and just connect it with
Thank
it.
you, Soumyadeep. I think it's been really inspiring listening to you, and thank you for sharing your experiences. Now, at this point, I'd like to have Jerry sir, who's going to share his insights on our conversation and ask you a few thought-provoking questions.
Sure, sure,
Over
sure.
to you, sir. So you're
Oh,
on.
I'm on the mute button. So, Nishant, you're back from
Oh,
your
yeah.
holiday.
Yes, sir.
Very good. All rejuvenated, refreshed.
Yes, sir.
So, Soumyadeep ji, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great. How are you,
All
Jay
well,
sir?
all
Actually,
well.
I was really unfortunate. I couldn't meet you there in IIT Delhi Conclave.
Oh, we didn't meet? But
Yeah,
I met a lot of
that
people.
was
So
quite unfortunate from my side.
not to worry. We shall surely meet again. We plan to have the next live conclave after the online conclave, which we are planning to roll out in March. So I was listening into your thoughts, and I was very happy that you're sharing your thoughts very candidly, and I completely agree with you. You know, one of the reasons I like to passionately work with the youth and children is because I always say that future unready, future unprepared, and present messed up parents are preparing children and the youth for the future. There is a problem.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And not just future unready parents, but future unready teachers, future unready professors, future unready lecturers in schools, colleges, which are very expensive, and yet they are not really preparing children for the future, because they themselves are not prepared for the future, because whatever we may be teaching in schools and colleges may be redundant in the next few years. Not maybe, but will be redundant in the next few years. And at the same time, we are teaching, we because of the conspicuous consumption, which is a way of life, especially for people in my age group, who think that they are defined by the next big car or the watch that they wear or the designer masks that they wear nowadays in the times of COVID. So while I heard Nishant saying that probably COVID has taught us a lesson, I don't think so. Because I mean, imagine people wearing Louis Vuitton masks. How does it matter? It's about safety. It's not about. It's not about. Do it by all means, but the point is you're missing the point, because the more you own, the more you flaunt, the more it shows us that you're insecure about your esteem, because your esteem should come from within. It's called self-esteem. It's not called other people's esteem. It's called self-esteem, which basically means that the validation should come from within, not from outside, right? And I think because grown-ups live in that zone where they're always looking for validation from outside, whether it is likes on the Facebook posts when they are holidaying outside, or the car that they drive, or thinking that that they should have something better than their neighbor or their richer cousin. In that process, they forget to live their life, and because of which they borrow money mindlessly, EMIs, and then you have all those swords hanging on your head, so you can't really live your life.
Yes.
And that's exactly what the children are seeing. So children will emulate what they see, because no matter what you teach them, they are finally watching the lives and lifestyles of their parents, and they also end up getting messed up. So it's a vicious cycle, and somewhere we
Yes.
need to break that vicious cycle. And I just wrote an article for Business World, and I sent it out last night. uh, and I said, be the karmaveer who lives austerity, simplicity, and integrity. And I spoke about how at Karmaveer, you must have seen how we keep it very simple, right? There is no
Yes, yes.
glamour, slammer, right? There is
No, no.
no extra lights, yahan se, wahan se, है ना? Dinchak nahi hai. Because what we focus on is the subject matter, the content, and the life leadership and learning to learn lessons that we are imparting to the students and young fellows like you, right? And I wrote that, countries, companies, businesses are learning austerity the hard way. Austerity basically means living within your means, right? Living simply. And people think, all that showbiz that you do defines you. No, being simple is the most elegant thing in the world. And simplicity is not only elegance, simplicity is the most difficult thing in the world, right? And that's why we keep it very simple at our Karmaveer Awards. We keep it very austere. And that's what I wrote. I said, we've created a platform where we don't do any frills and thrills, no glam slam. It's simple and it's austere. We have several hotel owners and real estate magnates who are award recipients now. And initially, when I was founding it, we have people like Ratan Tata on our board. So they own the Taj hotels. So it was like, okay, I mean, you're doing this award, we will host the venue and the hospitality. But I was like, no, I can't do it in a 5-star hotel, because if I do it in a 5-star hotel, what about all the poor people who are coming into? Because our award is not just about the richy riches who are getting the awards, it's everybody. If you're doing good, you'll
Exactly.
get an award. So how do I explain all the opulence of a Taj hotel to a Lakshman Singh coming from Rajasthan? And
Yes.
I observed this in an event which was happening at the Imperial Hotel. Of course, in the article, I've not named the hotel, organized by Aspen Ananda India. And in the article, I have not named them. Maybe in this forum, I should name them. Tarun Das, Gautam Thapar, they are all the founders of Ananta Aspen India. And a poor guy who had come from Bihar or Jharkhand or one of the places, he was a community-based organization leader. In the opening panel only, the opening panel happened after cocktails and snacks. Snacks being being served in a buffet and things like that. And then on the August panel, there was Tarun Das, Gautam Thapar, and 2-3 other people. And there were these microphones where you could go and ask questions. And after Gautam Thapar and Tarun Das did all their blah blah blah, this poor community-based or community-based organizations worker who had come from rural India went and asked. She said, "Sir, आप लोग हमें यहाँ पे invite करते हो, but इतना मतलब ये like शान शौकत देख के तो मतलब I'm feeling humiliated and I'm feeling uncomfortable because so much food going waste, wine is flowing, expensive wine, and I come from a place where children are dying of hunger."
Yeah, exactly.
And instead of giving him some rationale, that man who used to call himself chief mentor of the CII, Tarun Das, who later got caught in the Radia tapes asking for 5 acres of land to build a football academy for his son, told that poor worker, he said, "If you're feeling uncomfortable, you may leave. Feel free to leave if you're feeling uncomfortable." And I stood up and I said, this is ridiculous because you can't treat a guest like this. What happened to Atiti Bhava Devaya? Right? And I walked out with this man. We went and we ate food in Connaught Place. I remember we ate at that United Coffee House. I said, "Come, I'll take you for dinner. We'll go and eat somewhere, wherever you choose." And we walked along. But what I'm trying to say is that insight came to my mind when we were designing the award in 2006, and I shared it with the team at that time, that we will not do this ever in a hotel, no matter how free the hotel comes to us. Right? It has to be done in Satyagraha Mandap, is where we started from, where the original freedom struggle against the British had started was launched by Gandhi. We said this is the new freedom struggle. So I was very happy when you were echoing our thoughts. I'm very happy that, like you said, through the fellowship, even if we touch one life, and we are touching many, I think, because every fellow talks about the same thing that you spoke about. And I'm very happy that we are on the right track. That said, enough of talking about Rex Karmovir Global Fellowship and Karmovir Awards. I can go on. Yeah.
Yes.
But the point is, there are several issues happening in the country right now. And the issues which could probably be a matter of time before it impacts you or your sister. I'm sure that, you have sisters, if not a real one, a cousin sister.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what is happening with Disha Ravi?
Mm-hmm.
There is a concern because this current government has tried to taint her. They have tried to prove that she's not a Hindu Brahmin, but she's a Catholic. The same government which talks about Garvapsi
exactly.
is now trying to prove that a Hindu is a Catholic. Then you have this government's troll armies which are saying she's pregnant. Some troll armies are saying she should be raped in the jail. Is this what our ethos is? Is this what Hinduism teaches us?
No, not really.
And then when we post against this in our groups, one of the guys who's probably like a fan, and unfortunately one of our fellows, takes offense. यार मोदी ने पाल रखा है आपको कि आप जो गलत कर रहे हैं वो देख नहीं सकते हो आप? इतने मतलब अंधे हो गए हो आप? Just because he's promising you some Hindu nation and Ram temple?
Exactly.
So what is happening? Do you as a youngster have any insights that you could share with me, or am I the only person who's rabble rousing against the wrongs that they're doing?
Sir, frankly speaking,
like an old man who's lost his marbles.
No, not really. So, frankly speaking, everyone, despite the religion, caste, or gender, everyone of here living in this country has their moral rights to speak what they really want.
Right.
And they have really they got their rights to speak against the government.
Right.
And the moment we start, calling them anti-nationalists or calling them less of a patriot, who are actually objecting anything in the country,
right,
or calling objecting any changes by the government made by the government, if you start calling them anti-nationalists, or even you could say probably less of a patriot, then this discourages the chances of debates.
Right.
And a country which don't have debates cannot bring change.
Right, because we're a democracy. We are not a
Yeah,
totalitarian
exactly.
country, or we are not a Sharia country like Dubai or Saudi. But then my point to you is, and I'm happy that you brought this. My point to you is, why are people who are just blindly believing every lie and half truth that he peddles not waking up to this? Because can't they see that this will become like a Sharia country tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly. Here
Hindutva is the Taliban of India.
I'd like to add one thing over here. Uh, that a lot of people are coming into trouble and creating issues in this country a lot, because today social media has become a platform for spreading negativity
Right,
and spreading false news with less interpreted datas. Like, I'll show you half the datas to influence you, influence the people around. And people using the social media are so much into this platform that without cross checking the datas, without cross checking the facts that they read in the cross check, they just simply go on forwarding that, and even in many cases believe that.
right,
Many cases they believe that without even cross checking the datas which are they see and read in the social platform.
right. Absolutely,
uh,
and many educated people just blindly forward, and I don't think that that is because they don't know that it is a fake thing. They do it because they are participating in the crime. That is what I think. Because you do it once, it's a mistake. You do it
yeah,
time and again, then it's deliberate.
yeah. That's where actually I will add to the point. That's where your andhshraddha, that's
Yeah,
the word andhshraddha comes into play. So
right,
trusting is good, believing is good, supporting is good. The moment you cross a thin line, the moment
right,
you cross a thin limit,
right,
that becomes really poisonous.
right,
Anything, आप किसी को प्यार करते हो, you tend to love that person more, that becomes poisonous.
right.
You tend to do you drink
Are,
water, but
are you
the moment you start drink more.
are you speaking from experience?
Huh?
Are you speaking from experience?
Yes,
The love
I
part,
have a lot of people around.
the love part. No, no, no. From your own experience.
No, love, not exactly,
You
not exactly.
you said it. Love becomes poisonous
Yeah,
because so
poisonous in the sense because
you had a heartbreak.
no, not heartbreak. Not heartbreak. Yeah, I have been going to various seminars, various lectures, and life skills classes or lectures. So I tend to talk with different people, try to gather their experience, and
So
come into
you
conversation.
learn from their experiences.
Yeah, that's what I
That
even say to Nishant
that
sir.
that's very
Why you
good.
committing a mistake when you can learn from other
That's
mistakes?
very good. And there's a very old saying that wise people learn from not only from their own experiences but from other people's experiences.
Yeah, that's
Int-
exactly what I say to Nishant sir.
Intelligent people learn from their own experiences, and then there's a third category, like all the bucks, fools. They are called. They never learn. That's what, because it's so easy to fool them. No, that's why they're fools.
Yes, sir.
Old jungle
Sure.
saying. So go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening to you. Explain.
Yeah, so as I was saying that people no, social media has become a medium of propagating negativity. So you will also find a very less people around who will showing out positive thoughts, who are talking about changes, and people who talking about rightfulness, bringing happiness, bringing prosperity in any form. Now it is all the presently the entire country has been divided into two portions, which I
Mm,
believe it is
right.
divided into two portions, which is against the government and for the government. And I
Right.
believe that there is wrong in both the sides.
Right.
I don't take I'm not taking anyone's side. I'm neither taking government side. I'm not
Absolutely.
taking the
You're
non-government side.
like me. I'm neither for BJP nor for Congress. I
Yeah,
say that you have to speak against anybody who does wrong.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And that moment when you see now the point is BJP is in the government. BJP
Right.
is in the government now. If I question, I have to question BJP because the
Right.
Congress isn't in the government.
Right. They are not even in
Yeah,
the
now
opposition
in
right
the
now.
no, yeah, yeah. uh,
they are like Dobi ka kutta na gar ka na gaat ka.
okay. So what I'm saying is that uh, there are two portions now. Who is in the power? You will question them.
Absolutely.
You will
and
not
and
question
and
who
it
was
and
in
it
the power
and it is a right to question them because it is a
because and
fundamental right.
because Now, if you say there was a problem there before that, that is why the problem is still existing, then that's no point. Then why have we voted for you?
Right,
We voted for you because there was a problem.
right. That
We
that
voted
that
for you
that
to
that,
bring a
that
change.
that's exactly what I wrote to Prime Minister in an open letter in 2014. That don't think you have won. It is not that you have won. For the first time, the world's largest democracy, the people of the world's largest democracy have chosen the lesser evil because they're fed up of Congress. And I told this to Sanjay Jha also. Huh? I said, these were my words. I said, so don't think that you have won because people were fed up of Congress and all the corruption that they had done. So that's why they chose
Yeah,
BJP, because they said, let's give another person a chance. But now it is time to displace BJP because BJP has become the Congress of 2013 and 14. Yes or no? And
yeah, surely.
at the same time, I'm not a big fan of people like Mahua Moitra, etc. Because what Modi is doing nationally, Mamta Banerjee does in West Bengal. So ask Mahua Moitra to
that,
speak
that
against Mamta
that
also, no?
that's where the phrase "Jo Lanka mein wahi Ravan" comes into play.
That is now you hit the nail on the problem is we have no one better.
Yeah,
We have no one better. But that also doesn't mean that there is no one, because somebody has to rise. We are a country of
yeah,
one
surely.
point. We are a country of 1.3 billion Indians. But the problem
Massive.
is, all of us are given to believe by Aam Aadmi Party, Mamta Banerjee, Mayawati, Rahul Gandhi, Narendra Modi, because the entire election campaign, I am the only one. And I wrote an article after the last elections. I said 1.3 billion very important, not important, but very important Indians. Because if they are the only one, हम तो मतलब नापुंसक है ना, तो चुल्लू पर पानी में डूब मरो. That's why I say we are the world's largest hypocrisy, not democracy but hypocrisy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I believe that a lot of people are capable enough to bring change.
Mm.
A lot of people who are there who can bring the change, but they don't tend to come into this play
No, so
because.
we all need to put our forces behind a person like Kanhaiya Kumar.
Mhm.
You're getting what I'm saying? But Kanhaiya Kumar again has lost the plot because he's gone and aligned with Communist Party, the most useless bloody party of the world. You give them power, also they won't know what to do. Prakash Karat,
Yeah,
Brinda Karat, only socialites, celebrities, pastry, yeah, talk. I mean, that's our problem is that. And our
yeah.
problem is that, all this la-di-da talk gets selected. And then you
Mhm.
have the grassroots guys who are like the Modis of the world who twist the entire narrative. And so I'm asking you, do you have any solutions? What do you think of Kanhaiya Kumar?
Uh, Frankly speaking, I don't know exactly where Kanhaiya Kumar is doing currently and what
Mm-hmm.
exactly he is doing currently. I cannot make a pre-notion about any person without having full information about that person. He might be right, he might be wrong. I'm not coming into that, but what I believe is that if anyone who's there who can really bring a change and he can anyway contribute to create a positive environment in the country, because we need to grow, and
Right.
for growing we need a positive environment. We need a positive environment because you cannot call for big companies to come here and work here without having a positive environment. The moment they would realize there's a big political disturbance in the country, people are fighting over here, the democracy is in danger, or there is a big big disturbance among the people, there's a fear among the people, I would say, then the moment they realize it, they won't be really feel to come here and work with us,
Right.
though
Right.
despite having the talent, despite having the resources, despite having the chances, we will lose all of that. Now
Very
that's the
true.
moment where every 1.3 billion people have to come together and think in a very positive way, that put our interest aside and look for the greater interest of the country.
Right. Very true.
And we also need to we also need to remember that all our freedom fighters that have lost our life is not for this moment, that we'll keep on fighting among ourselves
Yeah.
and damage long live legacy of this country.
Absolutely. And I think all
Did
those sacrifice,
Bhagat Singh
I'm
hanged
very,
himself at the age of 23, 23 with a smile on his face, just because the to see that today all the youth among in this India would fight among themselves,
Absolutely, and that's why
call themselves anti-nationalists.
absolutely, and I'm happy that you brought up Bhagat Singh, because I always say that we have let down the big sacrifices of the infamous four, right? I call them the infamous four.
Yes, yes.
Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, Rajguru, my biggest heroes, and Chandrasekhar Azad. 27th, in fact, we are launching a video which is all about how we need to say thank you to our real heroes. And 27th Chandrasekhar Azad's death anniversary. And and see, we are such a lazy country. We've not even bothered to clear their name in the international tribunal, because in the international tribunal, they're still considered to be terrorists, not freedom fighters, right? Because that's how the British branded them. But the British branded them is one thing. But India, after 75 years, has not yet cleared their names. So that's the and nor have we given them martyrdom. We have yet to give them martyrdom.
That's really a breaking and very disappointing, because
Absolutely.
after 75 years also, if you cannot acknowledge the sacrifice of a 23-year-old guy who's just hanged himself with a smile on his face, looking that my life has I have contributed my life for the independence of this country, for the independence of all my fellow brothers and sisters in this country, so that every Indians can one day wake up in the morning with a free with a freedom, with a freedom to do anything, or freedom to live their life
Very nice.
as they want.
Excellent. I'm very happy to hear your thoughts, and I'm very happy that you have a huge feeling for Bhagat Singh. In fact, we've named the award after Bhagat Singh for the yes. Great. So congratulations. And what do you do otherwise? How do you keep yourself busy in the COVID times?
Yeah, I'm a social entrepreneur, and I'm currently working to create entrepreneurs in Assam in the field. And I'm contributed. I've started a campaign where I'm teaching all the unfortunates the industrial skills and all the necessary marketing and business strategies to start their own business, and all the digital skills also through digital marketing to digitalize their business in this during this COVID pandemic time.
Great, Soumyadeep. Thank you so much. Brilliant talking to you. And I'm very happy that you have such candid insights and that you shared with a lot of integrity. Namaste. Have a great evening. And thank you. My regards to all your parents. And we look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been a really pleasure to talk to you and both Nishant sir on this. And I hope I could just keep on contributing.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Namaste. Bye-bye.
Namaste.